This is the story of the 423rd Separate Unmanned Systems Battalion. After 7 days on position, the men count 16 confirmed kills, 12 maybes. Not bad for two guys sitting in a bunker, drinking energy drinks and eating dry meat. We are somewhere here, at the Zaporizhia front line, but in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. Over the past months, Russia has made its largest gains in this sector. There might be less troops than in Pokrovsk or Kupiansk, but that doesn't make it easier. But let's start at the beginning. The men you see used to be in infantry. Bulgar, the Bulgarian, was wounded in Zaporizhia when fighting with the Black Sea Defense Group, BSDG. Mamai lost his leg during a mission. Tor was the commander of Tor Group, an assault unit. Juvelir, the jeweler, was a sniper. Albert was encircled by the Russians for 14 hours. But war has changed. Flying killer robots have made it much more dangerous, but also more efficient. And these men, once in the trenches on the zero line, are adapting. They have to.
We used to laugh at the Terminator movies, machines fighting machines. Now it doesn't seem funny. That's the direction everything is heading.
For you, was it scarier then, or is it scarier now?
Now it's definitely scarier. Recently, it happens quite often that Russians come in small groups and try to push our crews out of positions. They try to bypass infantry positions and get into the rear. And in the rear, they set up ambushes and work that way. But most of our crews are battled experienced guys.
If you don't stop these small pushes, they become bigger. This is one of the hardest directions. It's tough, we are outnumbered, but we hold.
I think the best pilots and operators come exactly from infantry. When they were in infantry, when they were in assaults. They understand how hard it can be. And then they just fuck the enemy up with everything they have.
The area is rural and open. Fields after fields after fields. You'd better move fast. Best, you don't move at all. But if you want to report, you have to. We have already spent 2 days in the trenches. And where we are now, it's not really a position in a classic sense. It's not just a hole in the ground, it's actually a huge underground tunnel system. As you can see, it's steel reinforced on the sides at the top. You have these windows that you can open, which are great for getting in and out, for work, but also to ensure fresh air and circulation. You have little windows all around, which you can use as an observation post and also to fire out of. As you can guess, these positions were dug a while ago when the Russians were still far away. Because to dig something like this, you need time and you need to be not in the range of observation drones that can see you and then obviously kill you. Even these rocks here on the side are amazing because they stop the ground from becoming all too wet during rainy seasons, so it's not so muddy. Now to the point. The 423rd UAV Assault Battalion here has a couple of different drone teams positioned in this underground war labyrinth when the guys arrived here, and they started to work. They realized that the first Russians are, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say, I'm gonna say it anyways, we can beep it, are around a bit more than 2 kilometers away, which in this war is absolutely nothing. I mean, it's how long to walk on foot? A half an hour? We're gonna hope to God that we're not going to be once again in some situation that is not so favorable for us. But if we do, then we'll also manage. That's it, right? Let's begin to work. The guys are already preparing ammunition behind us. Dimitrol and Bulgar are flying around the clock, bombing enemy infantry groups and mining the tree lines around us.
До речі, в роботі з платами дуже важливо спочатку приєднувати до плати детонатор, а потім вже вставляти в основний заряд. Бо якщо вдруг якась десь хуйня з платою, типу, ти присоединяєш, то в'єбе хоча б один детонатор.
Ну да,
Ти
да.
живий, все буде добре.
Это шарю.
Якщо основний заряд, то, наприклад, від ПТМ-ки нам тут прям всім буде пізда. Ти одну взяв, а одну вже. Забули пісюна на нас.
Плюс.
Пішла.
Ой, прям вялочка. На нахуй.
Ну, ми пишемо 1200.
Смерть ворогам, сука. И вы становитесь обладателем лучший жмур вечера. Ночи. Да.
But on day 3, fog has swallowed the countryside. Somewhere out in the grey should be some mortar guys, some infantry, and then already the Russians. When the fog is thick, drones can't fly. And when drones can't fly, the Russians move. Alright. Today morning at 7 when I woke up, the fog was so thick you could see not even 10 meters. And now it's like 9:30 a.m. and it's starting to clear. You can see around 100 meters. Anyways, the command already came through to the radio for the guys to be ready with a big bomber to fly, which again is something you don't usually do because it's easy to lose a big drone like that when you fly during the day. But the situation is very probably the following: that in the night, when there was such thick fog, and today morning the Russians moved forward in small groups. And now when the fog clears during the day, they'll be hiding. And then they pass on the command, how they went, their route, and then at the next opportunity, more will come. So the job is to find them, to root them out, and to get rid of them, so that they don't, then they manage to dig in on our territory. So I guess it's going to be a busy day. These are the exact days this footage from Pokrovsk was recorded. We are in the same clouds. There is a rumor that around us, the Russians have managed to surprise friendly positions and take some soldiers into captivity. The radio warns us.
На зв'язку.
Общая команда заборонено переміщення, зайняти кругову оборону.
Прийняв плюс.
На зв'язку. Общая команда заборонено переміщення, зайняти кругову оборону, як прийняв.
The fog hasn't cleared fully, but Dimitrol and Bolgar are pushing to fly. They know that the men outside need their help.
Друже, я думаю, думаю, він буде до самого ранку.
Ну, я по прогнозу показую, що ніби там вже скоро повинна розвідуватися.
Ну дивися, у нас є всього 10 ПТМ-ок, 3 ми вже скинули, лишилося ще 2 вильоти. Я думаю, що ми справимося.
The hunt lasts all day and all night. The Russians are everywhere. Sometimes well hidden in buildings, sometimes well hidden under the brush, only visible through a thermal signature. Sometimes, strangely, just sleeping out in the open, too exhausted or too naive to realize the threat from above. In 4 days, these two have managed to kill 12.
Акція від сталкера. 3 по ціні одної. На.
Всередині.
Хорошо, красиво.
Вау. Всередині ляпнуло обалденно.
For pilots to work efficiently, there is a large, often unseen effort behind the scenes. Can you explain how they work? Every system? FPVs, bombers, reconnaissance? How does it all function together?
We have several companies, I won't say how many, and each company is responsible for a specific segment of work. There's a recon company that finds targets, sends them to our HQ, and the HQ distributes the targets according to range. Then it's determined whether it will be an FPV hit, a bomber drop, or a fixed-wing strike.
In the command center, this is the job of Mamai, who coordinates all different elements.
Well, mostly it's reconnaissance drones that fly around here. For example, I hear on the stream that in some square a certain stream is flying, like a specific drone. Right, so I call the duty officer and say I need that stream. They pull up the stream for me and I watch it. For example, from right, I pass this stream, all this activity, to the command. And then the command, if they have the capability, sends a drone there so it can work on the target. Or it could be an FPV drone from another battalion. Or our heavy bomber drone takes off and works on the target.
Intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence. Basically working on the target at a meta level. So the guys also mainly handle stuff like mining. Recently they started mining around. They keep coming, so we have to stop them somehow.
Back at base, Agronome prepares and stores the battalion's arsenal. A mix of modern ammunition and homemade explosives.
Ну что, познакомимся с нашим...
Well, let's get acquainted with our humble arsenal. We'll start with the small stuff. Small fragmentation bombs, homemade, meaning we make them ourselves. Shaped charge. This charge is for burning through fortifications. It drops and the shaped jet burns through. Anti-tank mine. This one is without fuses. 82mm mines, regular mortar rounds. We screw on the fuses ourselves and drop them. Excellent incendiary thermite, an incendiary round that burns and cannot be extinguished. You can bury it under dirt and it will still burn. Burns through bunkers, shelters, and so on. And this one. This is factory made. A factory made munition the state supplies us. A wonderful thing. This mwashka here. Are they filming you? Take it. 10 kilos of joy. The fragment strike radius is 70 meters. And this is our own design. We make this ourselves. It's a fragmentation anti-personnel mine.
Not even a year old, the 423rd, also called Scythian Griffins, is a separate unmanned systems battalion. Ukraine is the first country to create a separate branch of the military just for drones. Tell us about the battalion's history. How was it created?
The battalion is young, almost 1 year old. At first, it wasn't very combat effective. Then, Vitaly Anatolievich came to command, made major personnel decisions, fired people, cleaned up, gathered active guys who had experience and initiative. Our battalion is basically a collection of small groups of friends who used to work together, do operations.
In the last year, we've seen a lot of political news. Trump, Putin, Zelensky, etc. Does that affect your work?
No. We just see that while politicians talk, our task is simple. Hold the line.
To achieve that, holding the line, the 423rd is implementing a one-man-flies-all strategy. by training every pilot to be able to fly any system, whether it's FPVs, Mavics, bombers, or fixed-wing.
Yes, flying fixed-wing drones is a bit different technically, but the commander is right. You don't have to master everything, but you must fly many systems. Today I may have one type of drone. Tomorrow I might not. If I can't fly the replacement, I'm useless. Today you saw FPVs, heavy strike drones, fixed-wing aircraft, everything. They're similar, but each has its nuances. We try to ensure everyone is as versatile as possible. I've trained for years in tactical and precision shooting, especially with sniper rifles. But one day I realized, no matter how good of a marksman I am, the war is changing. UAVs allow me to be safer and more effective.
The numbers speak for themselves. In the past month, the 423rd was responsible for 741 enemy casualties and destroyed 799 positions, 37 motorbikes, 2 tanks, 3 APCs, 2 artillery guns, and 21 enemy UAVs. Back in the bunker, when they are not flying, Bolgar and Dimitrol eat, sleep, and remember stories. Stories of past dreams, of friendship, and stories of suffering. What plans did you have in life before the full-scale invasion?
Actually, before the full-scale invasion, for a long time, while I was still in school, I worked in a carpentry shop. A lot with wood. In fact, in our carpentry shop, I was one of the best guys who could make anything. Beautiful gazebos and so on. I really got into this whole thing, and right before the full-scale war, I started setting it up at home. I wanted to start my own business making epoxy tables. Anyway, I had already begun doing it, started practicing, bought resin, made cutting boards and things from wood mixed with resin, burned patterns into them like decorative lighting designs, and then the war came. I had to go and kill.
And we ended up right in one. Bare tree line, shallow trench, knee deep, and the grads start falling right on us from the enemy side. Grad rockets are falling, we dive into the trench and that sound. Closer, closer, closer. Then boom, silence. I think I blacked out. Like, you know when you're in a dream, you want to run, but you can't. Or you want to move, but something holds you. I had that with my arm. I wanted to lift it, to check it. But I couldn't understand where it was or what was going on with it. And I had this feeling like someone died. This weird instinct. I was walking right behind Gaba. I start yelling, "Gaba! Gaba!" He's not responding. And Kai was standing like 3 meters from me, leaning on his rifle, on one knee, exactly how he was walking. And he died like that. Yeah. So I'm yelling, "Gaba!" And he replies eventually. I'm like, thank God. And when I touch Kai's shoulder, his head falls back, skull open. I was shocked.
Do you miss anything from home?
Що я скучаю з дому?
Mostly only my life plans. What I wanted to do, my business. In the first years, especially the first year, it was very hard to accept. I realized I go to work, kill someone, come back, and I was so fired up about making those tables before the war, and everything collapsed. I was very upset. Damn, I missed it so much. Terribly.
So, Dima, amazing guy, very good with his hands, already killed ex-Russians today, I don't know, I didn't count.
7, 8.
7, 8, already killed 7, 8 Russians today, and as he said, his dream is to have a business with furniture. He made these beds, by the way. Before that everyone was sleeping on the floor, so when the war is over, buy furniture from Dima. Right?
Yeah, cool.
After 7 days on position, the men count 16 confirmed kills, 12 maybes. Not bad for 2 guys sitting in a bunker, drinking energy drinks and eating dry meat. The last night before rotation, Bolgar dedicates the last remaining ammunition to his friend, Docent, the teacher.
Yeah, we started together, signed up together, we went through all the training together, and even got our first wounds together. It happened so that during the assault we both got wounded. Thank God not seriously, just some fragments from a VOG. And we went to Western Ukraine together, got treated together. That was the end of 22nd, beginning of 23rd. We even celebrated New Year there together. And after New Year, I think in February, early February or maybe late January, I don't remember, he left for the Special Forces of Azov, and that's how it went. It's such a pity, really. He left behind a family, his mother. It was very hard. I took that loss very painfully. And yeah.
This spear will be for teacher.
This spear, yeah, will fly into that bastard for teacher.
The next morning, we go home, leaving this surreal mix of computer game vibes and moments of extreme violence behind. But this is the war of the future. And this war never stops. So the next day, everyone meets to train, with drones and with assault rifles. One is the future, and the other might save your life. If you want to contribute to the work and safety of the 423rd, you can donate, either via this QR code or via the links in the description.